Top of the morning, laddies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If I Was in My Hero Academia. And I know that tomorrow will be Saturday, so better to do it today, or tonight. So, the, there won't be any videos on any other day. So, it's What If I Was in My Hero Academia. And let's clear something up for you. Between my 7 Deadly Sins version of me, the Ben 10 version of me, and this version of me, they're all in different universes, in their respective universes. So, this is Chaz Infinity Johnson, or Chazman for short, or Infinity Chaz. That's what I'll do that. So, and he also has sister named Zero Crystal, the opposite of infinity. Sorry. So they were doing their business thing, and they are the same person. So yeah, so they are the same person as when they are fused together, they create the mecha, or Chaos Chaos Johnson, that's all I'll say. So, their best friend that they ever had was actually Zuko Midoriya. And, of course, don't worry, his backstory is, of course, he has the one power that everyone doesn't have. I'm making him immortal, so that he's basically has immortal powers, like regeneration, self-revival, and all that stuff. So, I'm taking the last video today earlier, and get them started. So, yeah, and I'm spicing it up a bit. So, and their dad is this guy. And their mother is actually, this is a hilarious part. Their mother is actually was her. Yeah. So this is yeah. They were also born with their parents' quirks. So basically they both had similar to, hold on. Sorry, I'm busy at the moment, so yeah. So the Zuko is basically, or no, my character and his sister, or he has two sisters, but one of them, or both of them, are one light, one dark. But they always hang around with each other. So, yeah, they are pretty tough. So, yeah. So, he taught him all about how life works and all that stuff. But Zuko and Shinmin and or Infinity Chaz has a different kind of, like, his attitude, or he doesn't have an attitude like Bakugo does, but he has super kindness. Like, he always laughs at his own jokes. So yeah. But Zuko, or not, I keep saying Zuko, but his sister, her and her, were always knew what Shinmin was always talking about, or Infinity Chaz. So when they reached 4, they got their quirk checked, but they were basically like Huns. So yeah, they're basically pretty powerful. Sorry. They're so powerful that even if they even look at you, they could. No one even could tell what they're thinking. Neither would they. So, yeah. It's pretty scary for them. When they were at 15, me stomping my foot. So, it's a time skip. So, when they were 15, they went to UA and they met up with Zuko Midoriya, and they got introduced to Nezu. And they did of course, or Zuko got 100% on it, and Zuko or Chenmin got done, or they were pretty powerful. And what else should I say? Well, it's similar in canon, but with 3 new characters. So yeah. And in this what if, I'm making Ochako not embarrassed to asking Deku out on a date thing. So yeah. And plus now, in the last video that I did, or this morning, I'm sorry if I was mumbling in it, so yeah. So in class B, student was actually her. She ends up in this what if, she she literally walked up to him and because he, not to Zuko, but to Chanmin, and because her parents told her that how will I put this? Yes, without sounding stupid. Basically, they told her that just if you want to go ahead and date Infinity Chaz, that's you know he's a son of that weird girl, that Midnight. So yeah, the rumors are spreading like wildfires of her like first costume and second costume thing. But Jinmin or in plus there's rumors of, sorry if it's in the background. That was the spinners. The one that I forget what they're called. So yeah. So they always get embarrassed when their mother is, or when someone tells them that, hey, are you with that girl that looks like girl Flasher? As they always blush, but not Infinity Chaz, as he always says, are you trying to make me mad? That's what he always tells people. You always want to make me mad? I'll battle you right here, right now, as he's cracking his knuckles. But it surprises him when a girl, that you know who it is. Do I have to show the picture of it again? It was her, and she was not the only one. Heck, Pink's, or I forget how to pronounce her name. So they both asked him because they both really like him as a real strong man. So they ended up asking him to go on a date with them. As he says, sure thing. Okay? As he's quite literally the nicest man he's opposite to Bakugo. Instead of having that rage alright, gonna kill somebody. He's opposite of it. So, as heck, Class A students like Momo was sometimes trying to get his attention. As only person that really trying to get his attention, of course, was Momo, because she ends up only way to get his attention that hit her or his brother, or no, his sister tells Momo to get his attention is by shooting a cannon at him. As of course, she says, "Don't worry, he's immortal." As so, she took that advice and shot a cannon at him. As he says, "What?" As he caught it before. So he sometimes gets embarrassed, but not too much. As Momo's parents, when they saw him, like, man, they wanted him to be as, yeah. And so did those two, who, yeah, so, yeah. So he has three girlfriends that are asking him out on a date. Ochako got Zuko. And, of course, Jiro got Denki, the perfect couple right there. And Frog Girl got dating with. So, he looks at him, or he notices there's a beanbag, or he thinks that there's a beanbag here. So he picks up Mr. Aizawa on his sleeping bag as he lifts it up, as he grabs a chair out of thin air and puts it, as he says, "Okay." As he walks to his seat. As he says, "Okay. Thank you." You're welcome. As he was the first one done, and only people that do know that he has a, like, really buffed body was actually both of his sisters. And their mother, as, yeah, their mother was quite being like, I was gonna choose, where is she? I was gonna choose her, but then I was like, well, or actually, I'm in deep thought that scares me. He will have two wives of it. So, yeah. Her and her with that. I'm turning him into like a person. Like, kind of like what he is, but he has armor. So, yeah. He is pretty powerful, and he's really smart. Similar to his sister. As, yeah. He knows what to do. As, of course, he says, ball throw? Yes. Way to tell everybody arrives, okay? As he was into, like, small talk, but not too much. As he says, well, as he does has know that he does know that his sister takes a long time. As, yeah. So, a few minutes later, and Infinity Chaz threw the ball so hard that even storm clouds rolled in. Like, literally, he threw the ball, and he made the entire weather change into like lightning all the way around Japan. And of course, yeah. So they did 100% on it, or actually Manetter, or whatever his name is. I don't flippin' care about him. You know, the grapefruit guy, the one with Minoru. Not Dark Shadow. He's on my top 10 coolest list that I'll make probably soon. So, but Manetter is on my number 1 on most disliked ones. So he tried to grab, or hold on, and he tried to grab his sister's as him stepped right between him and his sister as he says, "Do you like to go to space?" As he literally kicked him so hard that even he flew all the way to the few blocks, like past the, hold on, like literally all the way to the top cloud. Trying to zoom in, but to that bird guy. That's how far he went. As he says, or he actually got first place on ball throw, as he says, "Huh." As he says, "I got it." As he used his power to literally grab a T, as he says, "Huh." As, yeah. So, after school, both of their mothers, her and Midnight, was doing the dishes, and they said, or one of them was doing the dishes. So she asked, because they came, really. So they were, or of course she asked, or they asked, like, "How was school, sweeties?" As they're saying, "It's good." Our big brother saved our lives from getting touched by that weird student. As Midnight and her the as Infinity Chaz explains that the student's name is Monetter, as he explains what happened. As yeah. So Miss Jokes, or should I say Harley Quinn, or should I say the Joker's wife, Eve, had that face, as she knows that her brother or her child or their child is powerful enough, just like their father. So yeah, he has, every time he laughs, like really hard, that comes out. As yeah, he laughs so hard. And when he gets mad, like Superman, he becomes like the armored Titan. And man, oh man, when he gets away from his sisters for a super long time, then he becomes the one who destroys all. Like, if you haven't seen What If Zuko Was the born as a unstoppable creature, go check that out. I don't know who's going to be producing it, so yeah. So he basically looked like that, but with his hair. So yeah. Oh, Racerhead had to. Or he actually told Racerhead that about every time he laughs, it sends a sonic screech, and every time I get mad, I become this most powerfulest creature. When I get super mad, well, run. And as yeah. So there's some spoilers, but not too much. So heck, during the sports festival, the heroes versus villains. So they had to train to handle, like, or actually they're like, oh, well, we have uneven numbers. And Chenmin said, or Infinity Chaz says this. Alright, Chaz. Or can I go do it by myself? Sure. As both her or both of his sisters are like, oh boy. As they didn't realize that Chenmin is actually the... Ooh, I have to burp real bad. Sorry. So, they were on the same field. Call that crazy. And yeah, All Might says villains win because he was a villain, or not villain. He was a pro hero, or he was a hero thing, and heroes win. As yeah, Shinman is more motivated about like his sisters, but he really deep cares about them. He even told his sisters that, as they really know that he really deeps. He only cares about them. As yeah. So then, and the Momo who was put it up against like Zuko, or actually Zumi, because Zuko and Zumi were teamed up. Because Zumi is Zuko's brother. So, yeah. And then, who else? It's similar to canon, but at the USJ, Shinman, or actually, when they walked in and they see the 13 was there, and she's explaining stuff, and then the portal opens up. Guess who spotted it first? Chazman. Or Infinity Chaz. And so the Infinity Chaz says, is that supposed to happen? As he points to a portal in the middle. As Mr. Aizawa sees, no, that's not supposed to be there. As 13, protect the children. As he grabs, or actually Infinity Chaz grabs Mr. Aizawa's shoulder as he says, no, let me do it. It only takes 5 seconds. As he says, your safeties are concerned. Well, what good would that be if you got your head smashed by that creature? As he points to the Nomu. As then when he now knows that to stay away from that. Okay? As he says this, let me do it. I'll deal with the big guy. Or I'll take them all out. Just get out of here before her. And he also told 13 to don't use your power against that warp guy. I remember as she says, okay, so what will you do? That's easy. As he snaps his fingers, as he warps his entire class, including his sister, out, as he says, come on. As he was in that pose, as he says, come on, I'll take you all out with just 2 of my fists. As, he really did that. He really, he literally went full out against those, like, he uppercuts one, slams the other as he went to town on him. And he says, "You're the undead Nomu." As he literally ripped a, like, brain stem thing, like his Nomu's brain, right out of its body. As he says, as he took care of the handyman. As he looks at Shiraki-san, or no, Kirigiri, as he says, as that was like his look. As when he fully activated his quirk for the first time, or actually he still had that, but his sister says, "Well, looks like hands down, how?" As Eraserhead says, "What do you mean, hands down?" "Well, Zuko, or no, my big brother, her, is wins and or won that battle without having to hold back on any quirks." As Mr. Aizawa says, "Really?" As, yeah, guess who it was? It was her. She told him that. As, of course, he says, "Yeah, I saw him wrestle he like bear when he was just a toddler, or rhinoceros." As they're like, as a kid, as everybody's like, "Wait, what? We're not joking about that." As because during their trips, things to like South Africa and all that stuff, Shinman was, or Infinity Chaz took care of all the creatures. As he literally, like, heck, those little things in the water, when a hippo, or I think that's a hippo? Yeah, a hippo was just looked at Zuko when he was just a toddler. As he opens up his mouth, as he looks inside, like not too far, but he sees he's like, because someone accidentally bumped him into, and he lost his phone, or no, his mother's phone in the water, as the, I think, parasite thing actually went and like took a water and floated and off. Like, that was weird. So yeah, and the lion was charging right at him. As he turns around, as he was just a toddler, as he didn't know what or why, as the hippo actually like grabbed that lion and threw him in the water. As, yeah, the cheetah was coming right after him. As he does the same thing, or that hippo did the same thing, like throws him in the water. And all the, like, every animal that was trying to kill Zuko or Infinity Chest ends up being someone else's lunch. Yeah. So back to What If. So they told Mr. Aizawa that. So yeah, Mr. Aizawa was a little bit. Plus, the students are a little bit shocked. So in 13, so he said, or actually, Eraserhead says this. So that villain stuff is just like a play toy for him. As they said, yep, at the exact same time. Yeah. So Mr. Aizawa is like, okay, let him have his fun. Yeah. When the pro heroes came up, they see, or when they walked in, they see like thousands and thousands of like quirk users was they seen some stuff. They were like so mobilized that like they couldn't even speak properly. Of course, one of the pro heroes that came was actually their mother, their Miss Jokes, as she says, as they, of course, Midnight and her were so worried about where's your brother, as they both pointed to the dome, as he says, all right. And, of course, he walks right out. Not even a single scratch. Yeah. They were not ticked off. They were, like, so, like, happy that he still is around. Yeah. Mr. Aizawa is... He walked in and they see, like, they surrender under, as it was not a waste of time. They put them behind bars, and Zuko or Hinman is like, sorry about that. Yeah. So he ends up being not a thorn in anyone's side. He was like, yeah, they ran up and said, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine, Mom." As that was interesting playing. They should have named this to U.S. Sandbox. Because that was fun. To be completely honest with you. As of course, she knows that he only... Of course, she knows that Hinman has always been there. And he's immortal, so they're... sometimes doesn't worry about him too much. As Mr. Aizawa is like, okay, what did you do? Yeah. He says, well, as like Midnight or Racerhead explains that the pro heroes were, or to these pro heroes, that Endman was the one that saved them, and yeah, his or Infinity Trans's mother, like, or Midnight, says, was she hurt by any chance? No, Midnight. He actually, there's no like severe casualties, so he told me that because the Nomu would have smashed my head, so yeah. So they were like appreciated Zuko, and plus Eraserhead told him that don't worry, you're not in trouble. As he says that, as 13 says, yeah, you don't need to write apology letter or do anything. As he says, yeah, but thank goodness. And how are you feeling, 13? Well, the way that you told me, he was when Zuko about don't use my power on that warp guy. So, yeah, he says that to her, and then only people that are worried was actually, where is they? Was those two, and of course Momo was not worried, and because she knows that Henman, or she knows that now because her parents told her that Hinman might be like has Midnight's flashy thing, but turns out his superhero costume was this, but he doesn't have like disposed skin. He actually has like what Manetter has, or not Manetter, the Tenya has. Instead of like thrusters on his back thing, he has like the super hard like skin, or actually his father made it for him by using the most densest like materials in the entire universe. Yeah. So everybody thinks that's kind of cool that he actually told them about it. About his armor it's really out of this world. As Bakugo's, he is not annoyed, but in this what if he says, okay, what does it do? Can I test it? Sure. And he used small explosion, and nothing happens. And yeah. So then his sisters, like his two sisters, sometimes worry about him. But then the next day after that, of course, Nezu, who, of course, Nezu told Jasmine that you haven't broken any rules and you actually did what you're supposed to. As he tells them, or he tells him that you, Chance, might be the brains of the bunch. Okay? As he says, yeah, I did. As Nezu told Shinman that you don't, if you wasn't there, probably Mr. Aizawa would have his brain smashed in. Or 13 would have her quirk used against her. Yeah. But there is something that's bugging me about something. Go ahead, I'm all ears. It's about this Wart guy. He seems more... I could feel his two auras. Okay. One was his human self. And he asked him about this Cloud Hero or like Cloud Boy, or like anyone that has a Cloud quirk in your database thing. As well, let me see. As he looks it up, as there's only one, but he says he's been dead after all that rubble. That troubles me. As actually, Nezu says, what troubles you more about it? As he says, well, I could feel his aura. Of course, he explains what his power does. Like, because his soul part could feel he could feel multiple souls at once. So he says, well, did he get captured or alive? Because I think I know what. As he tells Nezu that the eraser, there's probably is a match. So Nezu is like, okay, so as he tells him what the doctor or he actually told the doctor's name to Nezu as that created that Nomu. As, yeah, when Nezu heard that, he was shocked of the good doctor was experimenting on the students. As, yeah, and he says something is telling me that they'll probably gonna ambush us at the camp. As Nezu says, don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. We will make sure. As then after he left, Nezu is thinking to himself, like, if villains do show up at the camp where wildcats would be. As, yeah. So, Shinmin was in, or actually during the meeting thing, they told them that there could be someone spying on them. So yeah, Zuko or Shinmin was as he put a chocolate bar right on the side of the, like, at the finish line, so that I'm skipping the 1 week thing to the sports festival. As a race begins, Shenman gets ready as he went full on sprint. Like, his speed, he outran everyone. Even his sister couldn't even catch up to him. So, yeah, his sister had to go, like, try to use her quirk. So he, like, passed 0 pointers and he literally jumped over the entire gap and ran right through minefields after minefields. So he was like the runaway train, like unbreakable train. And yeah, he got first place and he had a chocolate bar. And yeah, as he's snacking on it before the second round starts. As he says, well, it might be a while for them to catch up. As he turns around, as they, and who was like at a podium, the one that, like, of course, his mother was standing right on a podium thing, as she knows that his favorite thing is a chocolate bar, as she knows, or she told Mr. Aizawa that, as, yeah, he is sitting down eating a chocolate bar out of everyone's way. As, yeah, he was more buffed or he actually was sitting right next to his mother. Or standing. And he's like, okay, done. As he literally obliterated the wrapper. And, or actually, before he did that, his mother asked him if that's okay, I'll throw it away. As he says, okay. Yeah. She ends up, or the crowd, or one of the guys, decided to, or do that. So Mushroom Girl was because between Mushroom Girl and Pony, eh, and Momo were fighting for, or like going, trying to get to win Infinity Chaz's heart. So yeah, all three of them were neck to neck. So that really fired up everybody. Because Chenmin and his two sisters were beautiful. Heck, one day Todoroki went and asked Shenmin if he can go get dating his sister. The Todoroki told Infinity Chaz that. Hold on. So he says, well, yeah, but better to ask them yourself. As hilarious part, because they were so, of course, Todoroki chose her because she's, yeah. So, yeah. She ends up as looking through, where is that picture? She ends up looking through Chazmin's eyes, and what she saw was him. Of course, she was blushing. Because she couldn't believe that someone's asking her brother to ask her out on a date. As Momo is like, okay. Yeah. So Momo asked, like, who is he talking to? As, yeah, Zuko or Chenmin was pretty fast. As he ends up, of course, she told him that Todoroki will date her. As she points to herself. Or dates. As she knows that, or they know that Chenmin or Infinity Chaz is trying to, as he turns to a wall, as he tells her that to knock it off, as she stops it, as Todoroki is like, was she seen through your eyes? As she says, or he says, yeah. She has that habit of looking through my eyes. She's think about it as basically you're standing right in front of her, but she won't talk through me because that would be super weird. As she tells him, of course, during the Oh, sorry. During the like thing, Momo who is like weird part is. I'll tell you what's weird part of it. Think about Momo and those two, or actually, they actually, after all three of them got fourth, fifth, and sixth. So they are safe. And one day, or no, during that sports festival, Momo walks up to both of those two and told them that that's okay for them to share Zuko, or not Zuko, Infinity Chaz. As then he said, of course, yeah, three different quirks users. As, yeah, so they, of course, Chaos Girl, oh, was heard that their conversation of, you're talking about my brother? As they said, yeah, no, your brother's so adorable that even wants to just, like, us three are trying to fight over each other so that one of us would be, as she said, or as she tells them that, how about all three of you fuse your bodies together? As, yeah. Or actually, they asked, huh? Yeah. Because she told them that, how about I'll ask him, or I'll ask him, because he's my brother. He usually never says no to me, but, or my other sister, or my sister. As she walks away, but all three of them, try to, hold her back because they are too embarrassed to. And guess what? Zuko, or not, Shenmin was walking past as he says, "What's going on?" As Momo, Mushroom Girl, and Pony, I think that's how do I say her name? Was like, nothing. But then his sister says, oh, they wanted to date you, who, at the same time. As he says, okay, I'm cool with that. As Momo, Jiro, or no, not Jiro, the Mushroom Girl and Pony was like, that was easy. Okay, yeah. So, he, or his sister, he usually doesn't say no unless someone, he he usually keeps his secret so much. As yeah, they when her parents called them, not Infinity Chaz, not his sisters, but his or girlfriends, and his parents are like, that's okay if you date them or date him and get married to them as or him. So yeah, I mean, it feels like it's just like that. What if Chasman or no? What if Zuko had hormone as a quirk? Or what if Zuko had hormone as a quirk? And I'm trying to remember what it is. Hormone is. I looked it up, and it's similar to what if Zuko was or had that as his. That's what it was at first. So yeah, Zuko is basically couldn't believe that Chanmin's power level is. Of course, now it was between Todoroki and Chanmin. Totoro or Endeavor never actually told, or actually Endeavor told Chanmin if he or if or force Todoroki to use his fire so that, of course, you know the hilarious part? Because Endeavor told Chanmin that if Infinity Chaz forces, where is Endeavor? Forces his son to use his fire, then in return, date his daughter. Zuko's is, or not Zuko, Endeavor's his daughter. Her. As, yeah, the, like, Todoroki uses his fire to date him, or to date her. And in exchange, Endeavor said to Chaz that if, of course, plus Todoroki says, I won't win without using my fire. As, yeah, Zuko, or no, Chanmin told, or actually Endeavor told him that if he uses his fire, he will be allowed, or actually Endeavor will be allowed, or told, or allows him to go date Infinity Chaz's sister, the one that piques his most. So yeah, as Infinity Chaz told his mother, or his both mothers, that Endeavor's trying to make me go, like, force his, as she knows Endeavor is that kind of person that would rather, but when she heard that if Todoroki uses his fire air, he will allow both things will happen. As Midnight and her couldn't believe that Endeavor will allow Todoroki to get married to one of their daughters. I'm talking about Todoroki getting married to his. And weird part is, Endeavor is also what Infinity Chest told them was here. Part 2